Hey there, welcome to I Have Today, the show that inspires, empowers, and educates you. And we talk about the art of intentional living. I'm your host, Diane Forrester, and I'm so glad to be here. And I'm excited about today's show. You know, I'm always excited about every show, but today we have a very special woman in the studio, the virtual studio, who is going to share how she's making history now. As we continue our theme for the month of March 2022 during Women History Month, our theme is on women who are making history now. Last week, we had an amazing show. I had on Rahila Narejo, Andrea Jensen, and Cheryl Hickerson, and they all are these dynamo women doing these incredible things in the world. Their stories of transformation, success, empowerment, the impact they're making was amazing. So if you missed that episode, you can catch the rerun on E360 TV, YouTube, or Facebook at I Have Today with Diane Forrester. But today what we're going to do is our theme this week is why women have the buying power. And that is a statistic that's like 80%. I want to say it's 80%, according to Donna, of women have the spending power and the consumer power and the buying power. And yet only 4% of venture capital investments are for women-owned businesses. That's just one thing, but the disparity and the unevenness that's out there is something that we are committed to. We women out here who are doing what we're doing, serving women, are committed to doing something about. My guest today is a woman named Donna Miller, and she has an extraordinary background, and she founded a company called Purse Power. And she's going to talk all about what it is, why and how she created it and came up with the idea, and her journey and her story and what she's doing right now to impact the world. So she'll be coming up in just a few minutes. But before we bring her on, let's share this week's intention statement. Our intention statement today is, I have today to powerfully attract and use my money. I have today to powerfully attract and use my money. And this was intentional. I want you to look at this, ladies and gents, mostly ladies who are watching this, and anchor this and write this down and use this as your mantra, your intention statement for the week, because we can attract money in a lot of different ways, many limitless, literally limitless ways we can do it. And then use our money wisely and powerfully. And money is energy, as we know, and money loves speed. It loves positivity. It loves when you impact in a way and use it in a way that helps and serves others. As I've shared many money manifestation stories on this show with you about, how I put a little bit out there, just with no attachment to it, and how wham, it comes back to me instantaneously, tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. So I'm not saying this for you to be attracting money. Hello, I see my fans coming in. Hi, everybody. Yeah, my number one fan coach is here. And hi, Yvette. How are you? Thank you guys so much for being here. But money is our currency. It keeps the economy going and it keeps things flowing. And that's just the way it is. And so let's feel really, really good about it. And let's powerfully attract it to us, because the more we receive, the more good we can do in the world, the more lives we can impact and change, and the better life we can live. And it's not selfish or greedy to want money and have money. The better you live, the better you serve. The happier, more fulfilled you are, the more you have to give to others. So That's our intention statement for today. Now, if you would like a beautiful copy of it and to use on your screensaver on your phone, you can go to my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official, and there's a little button there called Wallpaper, and there'll be a beautiful image of it. And just save it as your screensaver for this week as this week's intention statement, so that every time you look at your phone, you'll see that, and you'll start to affirm and reaffirm and anchor in, well, I have today to powerfully attract and use my money. So that is our intention statement for today. So what I want to do is ask you out there, what's your intention statement? What comes after I have today to for you? Well, here's a little video montage we put together of some of our favorite people and their intention statements. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Silka. I'm the creator and host of Second Act TV, and I have today to create the life I really want.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Zung. I'm a divorce attorney, and many refer to me as America's divorce transformation strategist. And I have today to live the life that I want to lead on my terms.
Yeah, I have today to continue to reflect and learn and listen and act on my core values in conjunction with the vision that I have to be a force for good and leave my mark in a way that impacts others positively.
I have today to find the best in myself, that loving place inside of me, the part that loves me and that loves others is kind of the same place. I have today to dip into that and to bring it out and to be radiant and show that to the world.
I'm Bridget Grimes, president of Wealth Choice Financial Planning for Women Execs. I have today to help women live their ideal life.
My name is Amanda Marie Masters, and I have today to love me, to love you, to choose to enjoy my life here and now. That's what I have.
So, some inspiring words there. Well, we want to hear your intention statement and we want to feature you on the show. So the link just showed, and I want to say it's dianeforster.com/intention, but Sherry, who's behind the scenes, confirmed that because you know I'm the worst at URLs. Yeah. Or send it to info@DianeForster. There's two ways you can go. So we'd love to see your intention statement. We'd love to feature you on the show, help you share your message with the world and who you are and what you do. So be sure to send those in. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do right before we bring on Donna Miller is I want to share with you the word of the week. And so the word of the week is a word that we talk about that we want to get out of our life, but I give you the word to replace it with instead. And why do we do this? Why is language and words so important? Well, we're magnetic attractors. And so what we're thinking is creating the way we're feeling, which is creating the way we're communicating, which is responsible for the outcomes and the manifestations that are showing up in our lives. And we're very unconscious about the way we speak. It's just habitual, and it's second nature, and it just flows out of us. And what's happening is these words are blocking you from having a better today. Having a better today. So today's word of the week that I want you to get rid of is the word struggle. I did a TikTok video on this. Struggle. Just the word struggle, like I'm struggling with this. I'm having such a hard time with it. It's hard. It's so heavy. It's like it's a struggle to get through things. And that is this forced assertion energy that we're putting out there. But we live in a universe of allow, of attract, of receive. So if you can be consciously aware of when you're feeling the struggle, or saying the word struggle, well, I struggle with this. I struggle with my weight. I struggle with my finances. I'm struggling with my kids. I'm struggling at work. Be consciously aware of where you're saying this word and how it's showing up with you, because what the universe is dishing out to you is more struggle. Whatever we speak is true for us. We get whatever we say. So what is a better word to replace with struggle? What could you do in the moment you catch yourself saying that, no, I don't want to struggle anymore. Instead, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with who I am. I'm satisfied with where I am. I'm satisfied with the journey. I'm satisfied knowing that I don't have to have it all figured out. I'm satisfied knowing that I'm just learning and growing every single day. I'm just satisfied with it all. I don't have to feel that push anymore. I could just stop for a minute, just be, and be in satisfaction, be in gratitude and appreciation, and just feel satisfied. Even just me saying those words, don't you feel like the energy lifting up a little bit? That's all we have to do. We have to do 1% better every day. I talk about it so much in the book. 1% better every day. That's it. To raise our frequency, our vibration, move us up the emotional scale, start to feel happier, more at peace, more joy, and we start attracting so many things and manifesting so quickly. So that is our word of the week. All right. Now we're getting ready to have our interview with Donna. But before we do, we have a word from our sponsor, and then we'll have Donna on the virtual stage. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. All right, welcome back. And we are here with our guest, Donna Miller from Purse Power. Hey, Donna, how are you?
Fine. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I had the honor of being on the Purse Power show last week. And I said, Donna, the work you're doing is so good. We need to have you on. We want to get you on in March. And we scrambled some things around to get you. So we so appreciate you being here with us today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Well, let me share with the audience a little bit about you before we get into our conversation. Donna Miller, CEO and co-founder of Purse Power, has had more than 30 years of hands-on experience as an entrepreneur and executive in Fortune 500 companies. She's an award-winning talent management consultant and a formally trained executive coach. The theme of Donna's career has been around initiating, driving, and managing organizational transformations. She's now focused on helping women nationwide to use their trillions of dollars of collective economic power to buy goods and services from companies that create, support, and improve opportunities for women and girls. Wow, so amazing. I'm just so happy that you're here and can't wait to hear more in a deeper, in-depth conversation about Purse Power and how others can find out about it and really tap into the resource that you've created. So
Perfect.
Will you first share a little bit of your background story? Because your background is so impressive. I didn't even read all the accolades, but talk a little bit about your background and then what led you up to creating Purse Power.
Okay, perfect. Just quickly, I grew up with two sisters. I'm the oldest sister of sisters. And our mom was an activist for the Equal Rights Amendment. And we were led to believe our whole life that the value that you have is in the difference that you make. Okay. So my sisters all three of us are business executives. My sisters are now medical doctors. And a few years ago, we were on vacation and we were talking about the lack of women in senior leadership positions and how frustrated we were with that. The other thing is we were talking about our mother, who was a survivor of domestic violence and sexual assault as an adolescent. And we started talking about what can we do about this situation, okay? And this was before our time with our mom, but it affected her life, obviously.
we came to this blinding realization that women make 80% of all purchasing decisions. That no matter how much we make in salary, we absolutely have purchasing power. If women would choose to buy from the companies that actively promoted women, and we would do that in mass, and if we could create a funding stream for battered women's shelters in the process, that we could shatter glass ceilings and change lives. So that's the premise. That's how we came to wanting to create purse power. So we had the idea, it languished for a couple of years, and then there was the march in Washington, D.C. on January 21st of 17. And I saw that march, went, oh my God, there they are. Those are the women that are going to care about what we're doing. So I took 30,000 buttons that said purse power, we have it, let's use it, to the march, set up a table, and within minutes I had six volunteers show up out of nowhere, and we gave away 30,000 buttons in 3 hours. And
Wow.
friends were also giving them away in other cities at the same time. Those buttons have now been found all over the world. And at that point, we really thought, okay, there's something to this. And so in August of 17, we brought together our friends and colleagues, and we held a dinner, told them what we were hoping to do, and began to get investors in the company. So that's how this began.
That is such a great story. I love it. I love it for obvious reasons, but I also love it for the entrepreneurial side of it, that you had an idea and then you saw an opportunity, you immediately went into action, you went out and used your voice, you did a beta test right away to test and see, is this something that women are interested in? And wham, obviously you got the validation right away. Mm-hmm. And we're able to then move forward, get investors and get the company going. So, okay. So explain to everybody, what exactly is purse power?
Okay. So the idea is, no matter how much you care about women and supporting women, how do you know at point of sale which company to buy from? You can't tell if you go into the grocery store. And so at the very beginning, we were going, okay, how could we let women know which company to buy from? If I'm trying to choose this peanut butter or that peanut butter, which one should I choose to support women? So we did a couple of things. We created a national directory of women-owned and women-led businesses. And our criteria was that either it's got a female CEO or president, or is half owned by women, or has at least 20% women on the board. And I think we need to kind of raise that statistic. But we've got this directory, and it's generic, not generic, what do I say? It's a ground built kind of directory. I'm not saying the words the way I want to, but anyway, people can go ahead and add their businesses. Yeah, there we go, grassroots, thank you. And so we got that directory. Then we partnered with Carnegie Mellon to build a Google Chrome extension. So when you put the Google Chrome extension on your computer, as you're looking on Google to try to buy something, our logo will appear next to the companies in our directory. We've also created phone apps that will show you when you're physically nearby. So if you walk into a mall or you're walking down the street and you're trying to find a restaurant, it'll show you the restaurants that are women-owned or women-led near you. So what we're trying to do is find an electronic way to tell you which companies you probably want to pick from if you're trying to support women with your purchasing power. Mm. And to your point, we make 80% of all purchasing decisions. I'd like to also add that we make or influence 67% of investment decisions, and that women were projected to have 70% of the wealth in this country for the next 2 generations. We've got power. Women need to quit talking about getting a seat at the table. We actually own the table.
Wow. We bought the table.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And I love men. I absolutely love men. And I think more and more men are understanding this about women. And I know more women are too. I wish even more women understood this. That's why I'm so grateful to you for this work that you're doing out there, creating this opportunity and supporting them this way. And, your show, your company, my show, my company, we're all about women. And again, love men, absolutely love men. But I just believe this, that, men aren't afraid to make decisions, to move into action, to walk away from something, to stop doing it if it's not working and retry. And there's just this part of us, and now I'm going to get into the deep emotional part and the mental part of it, that just feels so unworthy and not deserving. And it's just, it's forever of limiting beliefs and, feeling less than. And yes, we've made so many strides. Yes. I mean, we honor Women History Month this month, and that's a great thing. But how much better could it get? How much, how much more progress would we make in the world with more women who really understood their worth and their value and supported each other? I mean, don't you think that's why what you're doing is so powerful, because you're creating this opportunity handheld in your hand wherever you go, where you can go, I can support women-owned businesses. I can do this. That could be something that I do right now, that I don't have to change anything else I'm doing in my life. If I'm going to be spending the money and buying the peanut butter anyway, I can do it this way. I can be more intentional with it. I just love that. I really do love that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you've said several things, by the way, that I keyed in on.
Go for it.
I'm an executive coach for a living. That's my day job, too, in addition to running Purse Power. And you're absolutely right about women and self-doubt. When you look at men and women going for promotions, for example, in the work environment, women won't go for the promotion unless they think they've got 90% of the skills and capabilities required. Men will do it at 60%, and they assume that they will grow into it. The other thing that we do is, to your point, people, I've got a friend who wrote a book called Women Are Creating the Glass Ceiling and Have the Power to End It. And I've also been working on trying to get more women on boards, which, by the way, was one of the original purposes. If we could buy from the companies that actively promote women, and we would do that in mass, and we could say to corporate America, now that women know which companies support them, they're changing their buying behavior by X millions of dollars. That would be the fastest way to drive change in the country. Don't you think? If we could use our purchasing power with companies that support women, how fast do you think we could drive change?
Fast. Really
very fast. Exactly. Yeah. So women, the point about not believing in themselves sometimes, or feeling that they've got to have it all together before they can do the job, is one of the things we do. In the book that Nancy Parsons wrote, she was also talking about the fact that we are worriers and we're people pleasers, okay? And so this worrying tendency that we've got is getting in our own way. We're fully capable of doing some jobs that we're not going forward for or putting ourselves forward for because of lack of belief in ourselves. And I totally agree with what you said. Women need to support each other. And if I get a chance to talk to women in the boardroom, I want you turning around and helping the next woman up rather than closing the door behind you. And I get that there's rationale. The women who are the only women on the board feel at risk, right? And they struggle because if they bring up another woman and she shines, some women feel like they'll outshine them. Or if they fail, then they'll be blamed for them failing. And so they're walking on this tightrope. But we need to kind of do this in mass where we help each other up. And just for reference, there's an organization called 50/50 Women on Boards. And they're tremendous. They work as advocates to try to get more women on boards. And that's where the power is in corporate America. They can drive change from the top, and we need to help more women get there.
Yeah, you said a lot there. That was really, really good. And women, God love women, but women can be tough. Women can be so tough, not only on themselves, but others. And you know what? Will you mute your mic until you're speaking again? Because I'm hearing a little something. I don't know if I hear it back there, but thank you. Thank you, Donna. So women are so hard on each other. And I believe that the reason why women are hard on each other is because they're hard on themselves. Men can go play around a golf. It's a friendly game. Yeah, are they competing right there? They are. They're at different skill levels. Somebody's going to have the best score, but they can collaborate and they can do it with lightness and fun. And we were not bred that way. It's not ingrained in us to be that way. And there is this protective mama bear thing in us, whether you have children or not, it's kind of there, and where it's turned now in towards us. But women can be so catty and competitive and downright mean sometimes. And I just know that the way we're going to do it is what you're doing, right? What we're doing in this community together, you and I and our communities, and the way we're working to really uplift and support every woman on her journey, wherever she is along the way, knowing that she's really just doing the best that she can from where she is. And she is a product and a culmination of her entire life's existence, of the things that happened to her. And when we do behave that way, that it has to be handled with grace and dignity and compassion and understanding that that's just where she is right now. And the first thing she needs is to be embraced and accepted. And I love how committed you are to the boardroom as well. I'm going to let you chime in here, and then I want to share a quick little story about that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. I totally agree with you. And I asked a group of female entrepreneurs one time, I said, what is this about? Help me understand this dynamic. And one of the women had a business where she was trying to sell almost like Tupperware, but it was books out of her house. And she needed her friends to hold parties for her at their houses to help sell her product. And nobody would do it. And we started to get underneath it. And it came to women feeling judged by other women. If you hold the party at your house is going to be judged. You're going to be judged. And I think that that's something that we've got to stop doing. To your point, we need to give each other grace. The other thing that one of the women made is she said that in football, there's a football team that works together. In Miss America, there's one winner. So there's something that we've got to do around our mindset of realizing that we can all win. And if we do all win, kind of the all boats float higher when the water goes up, we need to do the same thing for women and support each other. And it's not about feeling like they're competition, they're colleagues. And the more you help them, the more they help you, and the better it is for all of us. Because we've got all the power in the world if we work together. Oh, I can't hear you now.
Right. And everyone is a winner. I was one of those moms. You know what? Every kid deserves a ribbon. I don't care, because that kid is either there because they want to be there and they're showing up, and that should be commended, or the parents making them go and they're there and they don't want to be, and they should still be rewarded. And that's why I know competitions like that. I was just in a competition last week, and it was, interesting, because I'm not that type of person, but it was, it was something that was fun that I really wanted to do. But I could just feel the energy in it, how competitive it was. It was a strange thing. And obviously it was, we were all celebrating the winners, and some competitions are good, as long as it's fun and it's light, but it can be tough. But I just believe that every single person, but women especially, need to know, and my audience is women over 40, need to know they are so uniquely talented and gifted, and really need to figure out what that is and live to what that is. Find out what that thing is that makes them shine, put it out in the world, let the world pay you for it, whether it's financially or however, with accolades or awards or whatever, community, whatever it is, but allow yourself to receive that and stop playing it small. And the story I wanted to tell you is I'm in the middle of watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on TV. I don't know if you're aware of that series. Okay. Well, it's in the 50s, and she's a married housewife whose husband leaves her, and anyway, without getting into the story, it's in the 1950s. So imagine what it's like being a woman who's independent on her own, starting a career as a comedian. She's doing all of these things, and it's so apparent from her mother that her mother's only concern is, what are other people going to think? Like, oh, he's coming back. And she's off doing her thing, but it's society that programs us. We can't let people into our home and our world and see what life is really like, that we're not perfect all the time and we don't have it all together. And, we do fight and we do screw things up. And that's insane. And that's something that women have to let go of. They have to let go of. Listen, I lived it 20 years with the front that the life of my life looked so good. And I was miserable inside, truly miserable in many ways, not in all ways, but in many ways. So we've got to illuminate that for women too, that they don't need to be living that way. And on that note, let's pivot it to domestic abuse and how you're supporting them with purse power.
Yeah, thank you. So I was on the board of the Battered Women's Shelter of YWCA here in Oklahoma City, and actually the CEO was on my board. I care very deeply about this particular cause. I mean, I think that there are a lot of women in really rough situations. 1 out of 4 women is impacted by domestic violence. And I've had senior people working for me that I had no idea they were going through that. To your point, people try to put on the happy face, right? And I think that we do need to all come together. And that was part of what was going on with Purse Powers. I thought, okay, would women care enough to buy differently if we made a difference for domestic violence? Because I thought that even if they weren't personally impacted by it, they've got a friend, sister, mother, somebody around them that has been. That hasn't been as much of a factor as I would have hoped it would have been. So we're promoting the YWCA, and our intention, when we're still a startup and we're getting to profitability, we have every intention of splitting 20% of our profits with Battered Women's Shelters. So we've got relationships with the hotline, we've got relationships with the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, and I do everything in my power to help them, support them, talk about them, because they're really important organizations that are making a difference. But the thing that you brought up that really resonated with me is, as a coach, I know that people are dealing with all kinds of stuff. When you talk to people, everybody's got a heavy load. And it's very easy to look at others and think they've got a perfect life, and you don't realize the load that they're carrying. And everybody is. Everybody is. So to your point about giving people grace, I think we need to do that. The other thing is, when we get judgmental as women, for example, I saw a woman on the stage one time that was being very self-promotional, and I didn't like her. I didn't like her because she was being self-promotional. And then I thought to myself, all right, if a man were up there doing that, would I react the same way? And I realized, no, I wouldn't. Right? Wow. So we need to check ourselves also in the moment when we start to think like that, to go, hold it, wait a minute. Is this a double standard? Right. And I want to make it clear also, by the way, I've got triplets. I know you've got twins. I've got a husband and 2 sons. So I love men, love working with men, want to partner with men, but I'm also really an advocate for women at my heart.
Yes, yes. Yes, you shared that you're a mom of triplets. That's so great, Donna. That's so great. Well, so what do you need right now?
Okay, well, I mean, we need support. So a couple of things are going on. First of all, we do have our directory, and I would love for you guys to check it out and use it. I do a similar show to this one, not as well as she does, but every Friday at 10 Central, called Let's Share the Journey. And I brought in major national guests. I've had Gretchen Carlson on. I had Scott Elniak, he's the editor-in-chief of Inc. magazine. I've had female entrepreneurs at very senior levels. And what we're trying to do is connect these women with each other, connect them with national resources, really give them some great information during this time of the pandemic. So that's the intention of the show. We want you to buy from women-owned and women-led companies. And then our latest endeavor, and this is, I'd love to talk with people about this, is we're looking at creating a diversity, technology, talent development program. It's been implemented internationally. 5,000 people have been through it. It's in partnership with Fortune 500 companies, and it's taking underprivileged young people and marginalized young people, and of course my preference would be for women, and getting them into a position where they go from getting a stipend and going through 4.5 months of training to being on the job as a contractor for a year with a coach and with tech coaches and life coaches onto a badged full-time employee within a year. And our intention is to get them from being marginalized to making $100,000 a year within 3 to 5 years. So if you happen to know of a company, if you're a senior HR leader or senior technology leader and you happen to be watching this and would have an interest in learning more about it, I would love to hear from you. And I'm at pursepower.com, PURSEPOWER.com. You can see my name on the screen there. And my email address is dmiller@pursepower.com.
Yeah, we have links to all your information that we're going to be sharing with the audience. So we'll make sure to do that again. The ticker's running right now, but it will also be in all the description notes for everybody. So,
Perfect.
but how, so I want to ask you how you live the I Have Today way. I ask all my guests this, and that means intentionally in the present moment. And if you don't mind, will you start it with, I have today too?
Yes, I have today to use my influence to make a difference for women. I'm living my mission. I really am. Again, as an executive coach, one of the things I ask people to do is go sit in a graveyard with a piece of paper. Picture yourself in the ground and think about what you want your life to have been about, and then plan backward from there. And so I did this 10 or 15 years ago and decided that I wanted to make a difference for women, that was my life goal. That's my mission. And I've put on women in leadership conferences and 2020 Women on Boards and Purse Power. And I'm doing everything in my power to live that life, because I don't want to look back with regret. I don't want to say I could have, I should have, and I didn't. I want to live my mission while I'm here and be conscious about it.
That's such a great exercise. Go to a cemetery and sit in the graveyard with a notebook and a pen and write it backwards. You know, I've done this exercise, actually not that way, but I, visualized. It's in an upcoming book. It's an exercise in one of my upcoming books, and went to the end and went deep to the end, if I can go a little woo-woo, but really meditated and saw my end. And, I don't know if it's going to be this way, but if it is, oh man, it's good. But I was 104 years old. I was surrounded by my children, grandchildren. Like, there were so many people there. I'm getting misty even just telling you this story. This is an extraordinary exercise that Donna just told you to do. And I was looking back at my life. And my beloved had already passed. I could feel him between worlds waiting for me. And there was so much richness in that experience, that there was so much. And I flashed through my life and could see everything that I had wanted to build having been done. And so this is for you out there. If you're thinking, I can't, I'm too old, I don't know how, I don't have the money or the resources, I'm not smart enough, capable enough, there's not enough time, whatever those limiting beliefs, excuses are not true. So Donna did this. She sat there, and 15 years ago, and every day, Donna, you're using your life to serve your purpose. And doesn't that feel so good? Yeah, you're muted. Yeah. Doesn't.
Yes. If I were to die tomorrow, I've been living my mission. I'm living my purpose every day. And it's amazingly gratifying. It really is.
Yes. So you're a testament to this being the truth. I am too, by the way. I wake up so jazzed about my life, and like, I get to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's probably, for everyone listening, maybe one of the biggest takeaways we could give you today is that gift of doing that. Go write that, and go, if it's the end of your life, what do you want to leave this planet, knowing that you did and accomplished, and all of it, and the impact that you had while you were here, the lives that you touched. And especially for women, do not die with your music in you. You have so many gifts and things to share with the world that you take for Granted, they come to you so easily that you don't give them any quote unquote value, and you don't even think people would pay you for them. Not everything, but many, many of your skills. That is the thing that makes you unique. Like you, Donna, your executive coaching, there's no other coach like you, right?
Right. With the background and experiences, and yeah, you bet.
Yeah. And I just did a TikTok video the other day on saying yes to something you've never done before. Because I said yes to something that I've never done before a couple times last week, and they're scary, and yet they're exciting at the same time. That you don't know the answers. You don't have to be more prepared. You say yes, and then you figure it out. That's how we do it. So I wish more women would go into job promotions with that attitude, right?
Right. We underestimate what we're capable of, and men just assume they'll grow into it.
Yeah, right.
Which we would too.
We would too. We do. We grow into it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have any final words you want to share with our audience?
Yeah, there's one final thing, and I know you and I are aligned on this. So as a coach, I find that the thing that gets in our way is our own stories. So there's factually something that happens. There's a story that we tell ourselves about it, and then we react emotionally to our own story. So for example, let's say that Diane was my boss, and she came out of her office, and she's got a frown on her face. I see her frown and go, oh my gosh, she's mad at me. What did I do? I'll act for the rest of the day as if she's mad at me, when I don't know for a fact why she had a frown on her face. Those stories are a killer. The more we tell ourselves these stories that get in our way, it prevents us from doing all we're capable of doing. So when you have a self-limiting belief, and I know you talk about this, we've got to challenge them. We really do. And I think that you're probably a believer in Byron Katie. She's another gal who has come up with a methodology for questioning your own stories. I highly recommend that people take a look at that. That's the one thing that I found. So some of you are very high challenge individuals. You're hard on yourself. You're hard on everybody else around you. Nobody can meet the bar, including you. And I know you give yourself a rough time all day, every day. And the one solution I think you have is to challenge your stories, and you need to learn how to do it. So listening to Diane, hearing what she has to say, taking a look at Byron Katie, please challenge the stories that are preventing you from doing all you're capable of doing.
Such good advice, because it happens all the time. You're a mother of triplets and you have sons and a daughter. I'm a mother of twins. I have a son and a daughter. And so we had our children and raised them the same way. They grew up the same age. We parented the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, my daughter has had many trials and tribulations with girlfriends and misunderstandings of what somebody said or did or didn't do, and how they take it personally. And even, less and less as she's getting older, of course, but there's still that there. My son has had none of that. None of that. It's such what's the word I'm looking for? Epidemic with girls and women, the females that these are stories that we're telling ourselves. Well, you know what? We can point the finger in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different messaging coming to us at all times from everywhere, but we're aware of it. And so now we can empower our women, sisters, daughters, girlfriends, all of them, to know that that's just a story. It's just a story, like you said.
Yes. It's interesting. I don't know how it happened. Okay, so I was one of the women that you're talking about growing up. So I absolutely understand what you're saying. My daughter is not that person, which was really interesting. When she was going to college, college or high school, both, I offered to go take her clothes shopping about a week or two into school, because I wanted to give her a chance to see what everybody else was wearing so we could go find her clothes. She said, I don't care. She's gonna wear what she wants. And then in college for the sorority, I was worried about if she got into a sorority or didn't and how she'd feel. And she said, why would I want to be around somebody who didn't want me? So she wasn't worried at all about someone judging her or not wanting her in the house. If they didn't want her there, she didn't want to be there. And I thought, Good
Good
for
for
you.
her. Good for her.
Good for you. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I love well, she had a
Strong.
good mama. She
I hope I
did.
played a part.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's been so great having you on the show, Donna. Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to the future collaborations that we're doing together and how we're supporting each other on our visions and our missions and serving women to our highest, greatest, fullest potential. So if somebody wanted to find out more information about you and Purse Power, how can they do that?
Just go to the website, so pursepower.com, and take a look at everything we've got going on. You can reach me through the contact form. You can also take a look at all of our videos. We've had some amazing speakers with really valuable insights, and I hope you take a look at that as well. That's under our Let's Share the Journey tab on the website.
On the website. Great. Well, we've got the descriptions here. Everything will be in the show notes. So if anybody's listening to this on the podcast and driving, don't worry. We've got you covered. And if you're watching, and we got it all. We got it all for you. Thank you so much for being my guest today and really empowering the world the way that you do. And you are a light in this world. Thank you for illuminating it on this important issue and topic and continuing to do what you do.
Oh, and thank you to you too. We both care very much about making a difference for women.
Yeah.
I really value you as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Thanks so much for being here. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love her so much. So much passion in her heart. So many great nuggets and takeaways. So that what I'm going to do at the end of the show is do the live mantra meditation where we're going to tie in everything that we talked about today at the end of the episode. It'll just be a couple of minutes. A great way to just end the show and anchor that in and leave the show feeling better at the end than you did at the beginning, knowing that you have the power. So, all right. So before we get to that, I just want to share with you a special offer from A Better Today. Hey there, it's Diane Forrester, and I want to thank you so much for watching I Have Today. And I'd like to extend an invitation to you to buy my brand new international best-selling book called A Better Today, which is a fun, inspirational, motivational 30-day challenge where each day for 30 days, you get one little thing that you need to do to change your life and improve your life. And so part of the reason why some people struggle to make changes in their life is because they try to do too many things at once. How real, lasting, positive, permanent change happens is through micro bites, micro actions. They create the macro results. So it's available at Amazon. I invite you to pick up a copy there. And for a limited time, I'm offering you a special opportunity. When you buy the book, I am going to give you 4 of my courses for free, absolutely for free. And that's at abettertodaybook.com, abettertodaybook.com. So check it out and start improving your life and making each day of your life better and better starting today. Thanks. Yeah, so get your copy of A Better Today and take advantage of my 4 courses for free. And it's interesting that that Donna mentioned Katie Byron, because in the 10 Days to Your Passion and Purpose program, which is one of the programs inside there, I talk about truth. We start day 1 is all about truth and getting to the truth of you and what is really true for you and being able to be aware when things are out of alignment with that. So it's so important for you to really know who you are and what is your truth, what is true for you, not what anybody else thinks, just what you think. So, all right, a quick little update before we do the mantra meditation. So just to let you know, we've been doing a lot of tech housekeeping, let's just put it that way, and getting things organized, because we have so much content out there and I want it to be available to you and serve you in the highest way. So we have obviously the TV show here, we have the podcast, we have our blog on our website, we have courses, digital courses, and mindset courses, so many things that are available for you. So what we did is made it super easy on the DianeForrester.com website. On the shop page, there are things available for you right there. If you're ever like, I want to do something with Diane, I want to work on my mindset, or I want to figure out what my passion and purpose is, or whatever the thing is, or I want to work with Diane privately, I want to find out about that. That's all available for you at DianeForrester.com on the shop page. But also we have it now. We're setting up all of the descriptions for everything on YouTube. And I think on E360 TV, we can do it as well, which is the main home of the TV show, where everything is there for you, links to anything and everything you want. So whenever you want anything, or you're just curious, it's all available there for you. Just a little housekeeping stuff that we've been doing on the back end. And thank you, Coach Ron Tunick. I want to give you a shout out. He said, very special book that just might change your life, take your life to the next level. Thank you so much. Coach Ron is reading and doing the Better Today Challenge, and he's sharing his successes and his breakthroughs with me. So thank you so much for that support. And so now let us just take a minute or a couple minutes with the last couple of minutes that we have of the show to do our mantra meditation, so that we can just relax, take this moment for you before you get back to the craziness of your day or your night or wherever you are in the world of what's going on, and connect with you, connect with your heart, connect with your souls, connect with your dreams, connect with your desires. That's what we're going to do right now. And we do this, I do this live so that it's really pertinent to what we're talking about on the show. So what I'm going to ask you to do is we're going to take in 2 deep breaths. We're going to do this twice. We're going to take in a deep breath for 4 seconds. We're going to hold it for 8. And I want you to visualize in your mind you lighting, like sending that energy to all of your 8 energy centers or chakras. So starting at the root, going to the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown, and then the soul star, which is right above you, about a foot or so above your head. It's a really important one. It's like your quantum point. It's where you receive information. So, all right. So I want you to just light that up. And then I want you to blow it out for 8 seconds, like you're blowing out birthday candles. I want you to get anything negative, anything toxic up and out of your body. 95% of diseases is caused by stress, and we are shallow breathers. So we really want to push all that energy up and out and get it out of us. So we're going to do that 2 times, and just keep your eyes closed and listen to the words. Okay. So here we go. Close your eyes. Breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 8. And count up your chakras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Blow it out. Do that again. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 8 as you count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And breathe it out for 8. You should feel nice and relaxed. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles, big and small, I notice them all. Yes, 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 thank you. I have today to powerfully attract and use my money. I have the power to attract to me all the resources that I need to design my life in a way that I want to live, like Donna's living, where she's making an impact every single day. And she's doing work that feeds her soul. She's helping and supporting women. And women helping women is such a good thing, because women are hard on each other. Not all of them, some of them. So if we can all light each other up and lift each other up and let us all know that we're doing the best we can from where we are, and that together united, we can do so much more. and be so much more and have so much more and give so much more. And we absolutely love men too, but women need to be helping women. Women need to be better about helping and supporting women. We've come a long way, and there's a long way to go, but together we can do it so much faster, like Donna shared. It's good to be alive. It's good to do what we do. It's good to have all the support and resources around us. It's good to live in our truth. And it's good to know what we want and why we want it. So on this day, I'm going to make a commitment to go sit quietly somewhere, whether it's in my home or out in a garden or in a cemetery near a graveyard with a notebook and a pen and a paper. And I am going to go to the end of my life and write everything that happened. And then I'm going to work that plan backwards. And that is power. So I have today to make this be the start of the best day of my life. And each day of my life will continue to get better and better and better. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank my guest, Donna Miller. Thank you. Check her out. Make sure you go to her site at Purse Power and find out what's going on and support her. I'm sending you all so much love and light. Have a beautiful today, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.